The 15th Ordinary Summit of the East African Community Heads of State was convened exactly 23 days after two regional leaders claimed they were being isolated in the regional bloc's critical decisions. But the presence of President Kikwete of Tanzania and his Burundi counterpart Pierre Nkurunziza, calming fears that the East African community was headed yet again for a collapse, especially after Kikwete's criticism of Presidents Uhuru Kenyatta, Yoweri Museveni and Paul Kagame, who comprised what was dubbed the Coalition of the Willing, when he addressed Tanzania's parliament in Dodoma on the 7th of this month.
Coalition of the Willing. Yani umoja wa wale waliokuwa tayari. Sasa tunauliza, hivi nani hayuko tayari?
But President Kenyatta, who assumed the chairmanship of the regional bloc, sought to dispel fears that there were splits in the East African community, even though Kikwete and Nkurunziza did not address the summit.
I take this opportunity also to assure all of you that our community is strong and your leaders' commitment to it unwavering. Let us all put an end to unnecessary rumor mongering and walk on the road of our promised destination, a better East Africa for all its citizens.
East Africans have been concerned at what were disagreements or perceptions of disagreements on a number of important issues. I wish to thank you, Your Excellencies, for the efforts you have made and continue to make in dealing with these challenges.
But the politics of the International Criminal Court and the African Union's push for immunity of sitting heads of state crept into the regional meeting. Kenyatta's assumption of the leadership of the East African community was, according to those familiar with the working of the regional body, meant to elevate his status and add political muscle to his request for excusal from attending his trial sessions at the International Criminal Court. The just concluded Assembly of State Parties to the Rome Statute amended Rule 134 of the ICC procedures to provide for excusal from physical attendance of accused persons holding public offices with extraordinary functions. Other than the national duties, Kenyatta, with his new role at the EAC, will also cite the regional duties as he seeks excusal from continuous court attendance. Kenyatta's trial kicks off on the 5th of February next year.
I congratulate the people of Kenya for launching a renewed resistance movement against imperialism and hegemonism by the way they voted in defiance against the arrogant meddling in their internal affairs. The way the Kenyan people voted was a second but peaceful Mau Mau resistance.
The 5 regional leaders also directed the Council of Ministers to review South Sudan's application for membership to the East African community and prepare a report for consideration during the East African Heads of State Extraordinary Summit in April next year. The signing of the East African Union Monetary Protocol is the third key step in the journey towards an integrated East African community. However, the 5 member states in the East African community must find ways of dealing with the competing political and commercial interests among themselves if the dream of an integrated East African community is to become a reality. Francis Gachuri, Citizen Weekend, Munyonyo, Kampala, Uganda.